What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode of Blazers Uprise Live here on a Monday. We're kicking off our week with a classic show. It's picks against the spread and a game preview. We'll talk about Nuggets and Blazers coming up tomorrow. We'll talk about if the Blazers can get their revenge and if they can push their home winning streak to 9 games. But first off, we got to head straight into picks against the spread. We got 10 games today. Let's just look at the standings. And it was a good Thursday last week, Eric, for pretty much everybody. Everybody went except for Krish. Poor Krish. And sorry, Krish. I had to take myself off that bottom line with that tie there. I finally got off the bottom line. Things are still pretty bunched up, but everybody went above 500 except for Krish. Jackson at 6-1 pushed out his lead over everybody except for me. I went 6-1, and I won a double down. Hallelujah! Finally got. Bro, don't even. You're gonna make me salty again. I'm supposed to be happy right now. I've gotten the worst luck with double downs. It was about time I got lucky with a Golden State masterful second half. They were down double digits. Yeah, they were down by a bunch, and then they were up by a bunch, and I wasn't paying attention to that game, or else I would have been triggered until the end there. But yeah, I finally got off the pine with my double downs. Everybody else, in terms of double downs, have at least 3 wins. Reese is the best double downer at 6-3. Only 2 people have won more double downs than they've lost, Eric.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
That needs to change.
Yeah, but chat... You see you're tied with Trevin at third, Jackson's first, Reese's second. Let's jump into the very first game. We got Cleveland, the ever-injured Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn is a 5.5 road favorite. Eric, what are the injuries in this one?
For the visiting Nets, they are, of course, without Kyrie, still without Claxton, and Joe Harris and Bruce Brown are also out of this game. For the Cavaliers, of course, Sexton is now out for the year. Evan Mobley's still out for probably a couple more weeks. Jetty Osman is out of this game, and Lamar Stevens. So not quite as bad as normal, but still bad. Yeah.
Still lots of injuries to start this year for a lot of teams.
I am taking the Nets. And I'm gonna say it now. Since this game is about to start, I am choosing them as my double down. So nothing. Okay. So I can't be like, no one can say that I looked at the score or anything now. So
yeah. I was not gonna double down on this game or the next game. Those are only 4 p.m. tip-off times. Stream went live a little late. Just mods, don't look at scores, and we'll take your word for it.
Well, if anyone is thinking about doubling down, maybe they should say something too.
And here's the thing. Most of the time we're late. The games are not you can't tell. Like, one team will have the lead, and then it's like they always give it up. So or it will be a tie game. So it's kind of hard to tell. Anyways, just mods, don't look at chat.
Reese is asking if he can double down. Yeah, of course you can double down.
Yeah. We just trust that you guys won't look at. We just trust that you guys won't look at game scores, or that's what I mean. Not don't look at chat. I don't mean don't look at chat. If that was what I was saying, I mean don't look at game scores. That's what I meant to say. And it's no problem if that's the case. We're chilling if that's the case. So I'm still deliberating on this one, though, because Cleveland's been my team, man. It just
sucks that they got
so hurt.
Yeah.
What's up, play-by-play?
Reese, Zach, and Krish are all on the Nets as well, and that's Reese is also saying that's going to be his double down. So.
All right. I'm also taking the Nets. It's not going to be my double down.
Is Trevin in here?
Hopefully. Jackson in here. There's no way we're missing 2 mods.
Krish, that's not how it works. Yep, they're both gone. Where is Trevin?
All right, well, I'm going to end poll in about 5 seconds, and then we'll move on. Hopefully those guys show up soon. If not, we'll have to make it up over the next 2 days.
Yep, and once again, like we say every time, if you're not able to make it, no big deal. Just let us know, at least so we know.
I know. We have a whole mod chat in our Discord. We have like a separate mod chat where all the mods can congregate. Although I don't think I've added Chris to that yet. I need to add Chris to that. That's 78%. There we go. Let's just move on. Hopefully those guys show up at some point in the next...
Okay, there's Trevin. He's taking the Nets. Thank you.
All right, there's Trevin. Who knows where Jackson is? He said, Chris said, nah, don't pick for Jackson. We'll see if Jackson shows up. And maybe 10 minutes from now, we might have to let somebody pick for him and bring him back down to earth. We'll have a replacement player. All right, game number 2. You got Washington taking on Charlotte. Washington 4.5-point favorite.
Washington is without Bertans, Rui, and Thomas Bryant still. Out for the Hornets is PJ Washington.
Simple. I like it.
I am going to take the points and take the Charlotte Hornets in this one.
I am going to do the same thing.
Where is Jackson? Somebody text Jackson. I know some of you have his number. Reese is taking the Hornets. Krish is taking the Wizards. Trevin is taking the Wizards.
All right, there we go.
Zach's taking the Hornets.
And I will end chat's poll in about... I'll give you guys about 15 more seconds to vote on that one. Right now we got Wizards at 58%. And there's Zach with the classic message retracted, but it wasn't on his vote. For once.
Yes, Trevin, but once again, if that is the case, he could have let us know. But
Yep.
I haven't heard from him all day.
Yep. That's the thing, is if we're going live a little bit later and he has to go, he can just message us his picks. Takes about 2 minutes. Easy. But, alright, I'm going to end chat's poll. So, for chat, it was Wizards, not a double down. So, for Jackson, you want to wait until like 4:10 and then...
Yeah, we'll give him a few more minutes. Like I said, if one of the mods has his number, then yeah.
Yeah, who should we choose to let him to make picks?
Let's not say until...
Okay, well, I already know.
No, Chris. No, Chris. No.
Chris, you picked for yourself already, man. All right, game number 3. You got ATL versus OKC. ATL 13.5-point favorites.
Kevin Cruz, this is not just a stream for mods. We just let them participate with their own records for picks against the spread. But everyone in chat can vote in the polls as well for the chat's pick. So
everybody gets to participate. But it's a way that we can, reward our mods for being mods. They can have fun with this.
So the Thunder are without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who has an ankle injury. And the Hawks are without DeAndre Hunter and Okongwu. Looks like Bogdanovich is going to play.
Okay.
That's why the spread is so high. Yes, there's some high spreads coming up.
Yeah, there's some ugly
We have all the crappy teams playing today. I'm going to take... Oh, man. I'm going to take the Hawks.
Oh, I'm also going to take the Hawks.
You know that.
Trevin's going Hawks. Hawks have been much better at home than on the road, so... Zach says Poku Masterclass, so I don't...
So that must mean Thunder.
That's what I'm guessing.
Chris is also going Thunder.
All right.
Not bad, because 13.5 spread is very tough to cover.
This is like a good Vegas spread to put it here. Reese is going Thunder. Because the Thunder haven't been bad.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been that bad. They haven't been Houston Rockets, New Orleans Pelicans bad.
Reese is taking the points and going Thunder.
Mm-hmm. The next game has a similarly ugly spread.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
So yeah, just chat and Jackson. Zach's taking the Thunder to win outright.
Okay, Zach's a bold
That means he gives up the point spread.
Yep.
So now they have to win outright or he doesn't win.
End poll. Well, I take the Hawks winning by 2, so if the Hawks win by more than 2, I win, right?
No, it doesn't work that way, only if it's worse than the original odds.
You got 4 people with OKC, 3 people with the Hawks. We have 1 more minute until we forfeit Jackson's picks for the first 2 games. That's what we should do, because there's two 4 p.m. start times. Normally they tip off at 4:10. Okay, it's 4:10. Do you want to let somebody pick for the first 2 games and see if Jackson will come through for the last 8?
Sure.
All right, let's do that. I pick the guy who took me to a Timbers game.
All right.
This is the thank you, Connor.
Chat voted Hawks.
Oh, chat voted Hawks? Did they? Did that chat really come back? Okay, I'm
57.
tripping. I thought Thunder was in the lead. Okay.
Jeez.
Chat taking the favorite once again. The spread could be 20 million. They take the favorite. All right, Connor. Pick this game and pick that game, and we'll move on. You got Nets as a 5.5-point favorite. You could put Jackson on an island if you want.
No, don't try to
pick who you think. Pick who you think, Connor. Pick who you think. Yeah, Thunder was ahead for chat, and then strong push towards the Hawks. I was surprised that they flipped. All right, Connor, let's go. Give us both your teams for this game and that game.
I say there's not going to be shenanigans, and we'll just say Jackson.
Yeah, because Connor won't vote. He's
Jackson's going to take the Nets, but I'm not sure about the other one.
All right, then what about this one? What about this one, Connor? You got Wizards, Hornets. Wizards is a 4.5-point favorite. We're not going to let them double down in either of these games. I need to download the Jeopardy theme song. Hornets. All right,
So
cool. Perfect.
I'm putting Jackson via Connor.
Via Connor. Hopefully, I mean, I picked both those same teams, so I'm not rooting against it. But all right, we'll wait for Connor on this one because it's a 4:30 p.m. tip-off time. Let's go to Houston and Boston. Boston is a 12-point favorite.
So the Rockets are without Kevin Porter Jr. in this one. And of course, John Wall isn't playing. For the Celtics, Josh Richardson is out with an illness tonight, but making his return on a 24-minute restriction is Jaylen Brown.
I'm taking Boston.
Chris, come on, man. Please don't do that stuff.
Yeah, I was just going to ignore it and
Super,
pretend like I didn't
super
see it.
annoying.
No, you may not. Sadly, you may not. All right.
Zach's going Boston. Oh, man.
Dude, these games we have later on are also ugly. This is the ugliest slate of games of the year, in my opinion, Eric.
Yeah.
This is just gross.
What's up, Nate? Reese is going Celtics. Trevin is taking the points with the Rockets.
Reese goes Celtics. Trevin goes Rockets at 1-15.
I'm going to take the Rockets.
Chat is this confident on Boston winning by more than 12, huh? By the way, if anybody's new in this segment, this is based on the spread that is on the graphic and also in the poll.
What, Chris? Rockets are so bad you were expecting a higher than a 12-point spread?
What's the biggest spread we've ever had? It's like 14 maybe is the biggest spread
I think
we've
we
ever
had like a 16 once with the Bucks versus one of the worst teams last year.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not comfortable with this spread, but I also might double down on it because of it. If I'm not comfortable, that's probably means that I should be. Alright, we're waiting on Zach, waiting on Chris.
Zach and Chris, come on guys, let's try to pick up the pace here.
I'm gonna end chat poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You got Celtics. What was the percentage on the first one? 78%. So Celtics at 86% is chat's new double down. And then Did he? Boston. Oh, he picked Boston.
Okay. Sorry, Zach.
I'm waiting on Chris. Houston. All right, Chris is going with Houston. There we go. Looking like a Christmas graphic. Let's move on to game number 5. You got Chicago versus Indiana. Chicago only a 1.5-point favorite.
Yeah, so the Bulls are without Alex Caruso, Vucevic, and Patrick Williams. The Pacers only have TJ Warren listed on their injury report. So, yeah, fairly healthy for the Pacers for once.
See, like, my gut says to double down on the Bulls, which means maybe I should pick the Pacers and double down on them.
Yeah, this seems like a trap game. It's one of those. Chris took Chicago. Trevin took the Pacers.
This is a really hard one.
I feel like Trevin loves the Pacers. I don't know.
Be interesting to see, like, which teams we favored, which teams we lean towards throughout the course of the season. Alright, so you got Chris and Reese as the Bulls. hate you. All right, I don't know, man. I don't know on this one, honestly.
I'm gonna take the Bulls.
All right, I'm gonna take. I don't know.
Zach went Pacers.
I'm going Pacers. Screw it.
Okay. All right, so we're only missing Jackson and Chet.
Yeah, Chat I'll end right now because it's not in double down territory, but it's not particularly close. We got the Bulls at 69%.
Yeah.
And there we go. 67%. Unfortunate. All right, game number 6. You got Milwaukee, Orlando. Milwaukee's a 13.5-point spread. Ugly.
Yeah, so the reason, well, other than it just being Bucks versus Magic, the Bucks are without Ojale, DiVincenzo, and Brook Lopez, but that's about as healthy as they've been all year. The Magic are without their usual Jonathan Isaac, Markelle Fultz, each one more, Michael Carter-Williams, but they're also without Gary Harris, and the big one for them is Cole Anthony is out.
That's tough.
I'm going to take the Bucks in this game because of Cole Anthony not being there.
So they got Suggs, they got Wendell Carter Jr., they got Mo Bamba, they got Terrence Ross, they got... I don't know, man. Because the Magic have been feisty. I feel like they haven't gotten blown out a lot this season. They just played the Bucks recently, lost by 9. But...
Chris is going Magic.
They didn't have Cole Anthony for that game either.
Reese is going Bucks.
Chris went Magic.
I've already written down your vote, Tori. So
what's my vote, Eric?
No, you can pick. I'm just saying. I already know.
You already know that I'm going with the Bucks?
Yeah.
But I'm not, so.
I know. Chris, yeah, that's... All right.
Yeah, I'm confident with Magic here. All right, what'd Chris do? Oh my goodness, I just saw what Chris did.
48 emojis. Yeah, so we need Zach and Trevin's votes. Wait on.
Chat, I'll end in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pull. Bucks for Chat. Bucks for Trevin. Chat is going with every favorite, no matter what. It's one of those days. All 10
what do you
games
mean one of those days?
Favorite. They're always the favorite, man. It's always the favorite. 13.5-point spread, don't matter. Favorite.
Only if it's like really close with two good teams.
Like, I don't even know why I'm like taking the time to like type out the poll, you know?
Well, we need to know for Double Down.
Yeah. Chris says chat is so boring. Shake my head. Loosen up. You're gonna have 30 people mad at you, Chris. Good job. You just alienated yourself. All right. So Zach went Bucks.
Trevin also went.
Trevin went Bucks. All right. Cool. Game number 7. New Orleans versus Minnesota. Minnesota's 3.5, or Minnesota's a 3-point road favorite.
Yes, they are.
Type out too.
So, the Pelicans are, of course, without Zion. I'm gonna do a quick search to see if there's an update on Devontae Graham, who was listed as questionable tonight. See if they've updated it at all. He's been ruled out. Oh, no. That was last time. So he's still questionable. Have not seen an update. Has anyone in chat seen an update? I'm taking the Timberwolves, though. Reese is taking the Timberwolves, of course. You could have already put that.
Thanks.
The Timberwolves have Kogi and Naz Reid as questionable as well. Sorry, I forgot to say. Trevin's going Wolves. Much like the Bulls one, this kind of feels like one of those obvious ones that we're all going to get wrong. But
yeah, but
Bram has now been ruled out. Thanks, Trevin.
All right, there's the poll chat. Chris went Pels. I already know that chat's going Wolves, which I can't blame him for taking that favorite in this game.
Zach,
just like
stealing Chris's line.
I was raised by the Wolves. Okay, Big Sean. Alright, so Zach going Wolves. And chat, I'm gonna end in.
See, chat, don't vote for the underdog just because Tori's clowning on you guys, because he's trying to get you to vote wrong so he can catch up to you.
No, they just picked the favorite. I mean, they're 7 for 7 on favorites today.
I know.
I just spice it up a little bit. Go out on a limb.
We must have some new people that don't understand this.
Well, that's what I wonder. That's why I say it, honestly, is because I don't want... I don't know, I feel like new people come in and it's like, oh, well, Boston's definitely going to beat, whoever they were facing. I don't even remember at this point. Who's Boston playing?
Rockets.
Oh, yeah, I feel like people come in and are like, oh, Boston's definitely going to beat the Rockets. I'm voting Boston. But it's like, the spread. The spread. That's why it's called picks against the spread. Otherwise, it's just like, what's the point, So chat is going Timberwolves. Let me know in chat if you don't know how a spread works. I will happily explain it to you if anybody is confused about what a spread is. Ethan, I am
actually tied.
13-5 or something the last 2 days, so I wouldn't be talking, man. I'm on the come up. The momentum's on my side. Game number 8. Let me get rid of these logos. You got Phoenix versus San Antonio. Phoenix is a 5.5 point favorite on the road. Second night of a back-to-back.
So, Suns are without Nader, Saric, and Kaminsky. The Spurs are without McDermott and Zach Collins.
I accidentally typed San Antonio Suns.
Yikes, that's confusing.
All
right.
The poll, though.
I'm going to take the Suns.
You know what? The last time the Suns were in this position playing a bad team on the road, they were a 4-point favorite against Minnesota, and I doubled down on them, and they only won by 3. So screw the Suns. I'm going Spurs.
Right.
Zach, shut up. You know how a spread works. Can I pin messages on streams?
All of you've
I can pin messages on streams.
got a burner account now.
Who got a burner?
This little girl over here.
What?
Can't quite.
Is your dog? I see your dog. If that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Nice dog.
So Tori and Reese.
Chris going Suns.
Trevin, Tori, Reese.
All right, at 4:35, which will probably be right after the double downs, we'll go back through and have Connor pick the 4:30 games for Jackson. Maybe we just have him pick them all. I don't know. Zach says my mom is voting for me on this one. She says the Suns will win by more than 5.5 points. Well, cool. All right. That means Suns for Zach's mom. And chat, we're going to end the poll. Guess what? Chat's going with the favorite. Didn't they pick all favorites last week?
I think there was one point spread or 1.5 point spread where they picked the underdog, but it was like I said, it was a close one.
Awesome. All right, second to last game, you got Utah versus Memphis. Utah is an 11-point favorite.
Yeah, Grizzlies are without Melton and Merrill in this one, and Dylan Brooks is doubtful. The Jazz have really no significant injuries right now.
Watch, now they'll pick the underdog just because I'm guilt tripping them.
I'm going to take Utah. Trevin's going Utah.
I'm going Utah.
Okay. Need some blowouts tonight, I guess. No, it's at Utah. Ethan.
The home team is on the right side of this graphic. And then in the poll, the home team is first. Because I type it like Utah versus Memphis.
Zach went Grizzlies.
Dylan Brooks is what you said, questionable?
Doubtful. Melton Merrill out.
Yeah. Zach went Grizz. Unless he missed the injuries on that one. Eric, look. Oh my god. Look at the chat poll.
I can't see it right now.
It's 72% Grizzlies.
The chat do like the Grizzlies.
They do like the Grizzlies. I mean, this isn't a bad underdog to take.
If Gobert is playing, then I choose Memphis. Well, Chris. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess he's taking Memphis then.
Yeah, Eric did not say Gobert was not playing, so...
So Zach is going Grizz.
Alright, Zach goes Grizz. Chris goes Grizz. What's Reese going?
Reese went Utah.
Alright. So, chat, we're going to end your poll. 76%. Go for the underdog. Congratulations. Round of applause. Chat's figured out how to pick an underdog. Look at them. Chat, Chris, Zach going Grizzlies. Alright. Last and final game. Ignore those pictures. Let me get rid of them and change them. You got Sacramento taking on Philadelphia. Sacramento's a 3.5-point favorite.
Yep, and they don't really have any injuries either. The 76ers, though, are, of course, without Ben Simmons. And joining him on the sidelines tonight are Joel Embiid, Danny Green, and Tobias Harris is also out for this one. And this is out... Gentry's debut with the Kings, I guess.
I don't know how that's going to affect things here.
I kind of like the first game. Like everyone seems to step up in those situations. So I kind of like first game bump from a new coach, and so I'm going to go with the Kings.
Alright, Eric's going Kings. I don't know if I like it, and Philadelphia has been feisty even when they're missing guys. Tobias puts a wrench in things a little bit. Dang, man, I don't know. So they got Maxey, they got Curry, they got Drummond, they got Niang, they got... Who's their starting three then when they're missing Tobias? Is it Freakin'?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a tough one. Reese going Kings. He said Lings.
Trevin's going Kings. Chris going Kings.
I'm going Sixers.
Okay.
Thibault. Yeah, good job, Brady. That's what I was forgetting. They got Thibault.
You, on the Magic Bucks one, you did go with the Magic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Why?
Because that was the one I said I wrote down your pick beforehand, and then I forgot to verify if that's right.
Did you write down Magic?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny because I was like super on the fence, so I don't know.
You just sounded like you were talking yourself into taking the Magics.
Yeah, but the thing is, when something makes more logical sense, given how bad I've struggled with some things, then I question it because it makes sense in my mind, and I don't necessarily fully trust my mind in this. Lately, yes, but before
Chris
the last two
to
times.
Go, his double down is the Pelican Island.
Nice. Zach says, Sixers rip the hearts out of the Kings, beat them by 30. De'Aaron Fox requesting a trade tonight, in my opinion.
All right, so Zach's with you over there.
Agreed. All right, we're going to end the poll in 10 seconds. Get your votes in. It's close. Chat trying to go for back-to-back underdogs, which would be a record. All right, we're going to end poll. Now, so chat goes Sixers as well. Before we head into things, let's... Connor, pick this game for Jackson and this game for Jackson. Because the next game's at 5. So pick these two. You got ATL 13.5 point favorite. Boston, Houston 12-point favorite. And then we'll roll 1 through 10, Eric, for Jackson's double down. That's how we'll do it. Does that make sense? Does that sound good?
Sure.
Jackson shooting his momentum in the foot, so to say. So, Connor's like our alternate astronaut.
You didn't respond to your text, Reese?
Hate to see it. Alright, Connor goes Thunder here. So Jackson goes Thunder. And then this one. Stotts to the Kings would be hilarious. I'd feel so bad for them. Although Stotts would probably like start coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Start coaching again.
Yeah, I think actually it would be a decent, because I think Stotts would come in doing things a little differently than he did the last few years here.
Yep.
All right, Connor's going Celtics for Jackson.
All right, and then for the last 6 games, Connor, if you have your, if you could send us your picks for them. If Jackson sends us his picks for them, we'll override it. But just send us the picks for the last 6 games. You can scroll back and stream to be able to see it. All right, so now let's move on to double downs. Let me get rid of all these. So you and Reese went Nets, correct?
Yep, and Pelicans was Chris's. Chats is Celtics.
All right, hold up. Let me put these in here. All right, so you went Nets. Reese went Nets. Cool, and then you said who went Pelicans?
Chris went Pelicans.
All right, and was there another one?
Yeah, chat was Celtics. And the Nets were down big in the first quarter. They came back and have cut it to 3.
See, that's the thing, is you can, even if you did check scores, like, it's funny how teams will start hot and then fall apart so often. I am gonna go with. What did I want to go with? Hold on, let me find this. I'm gonna go with Minnesota.
Guess we can't say you jinxed them now.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
I said easy money on the Warriors, and it worked. So this is once again easy money.
No, I'm saying you usually because that seems like a pretty obvious game. So we could say you just jinxed it, but now it's probably now that you're off the schneid.
I know. Well, Chris went against me, and it burned him last week.
Trevin went Timberwolves.
All right, Trevin, let's do it. Didn't me and Trevin agree last week too? Yeah, we did, and we both won. So let's go, Trevin.
Zach is going double down for the Suns.
All right. Zach's Suns. I'm going to roll 1 through 10 for Jackson's double down.
Okay.
It's 4. Game number 4 was this one, so he's doubling down on the Celtics.
All right. He's with chat.
Yep. All right, Connor, just send us your picks for the last 6 games that we don't have a pick for Jackson for, and then if Jackson actually responds to us and wants to override him, we will we'll do that. That's how we're going to do it. All right, there's the double downs. Good luck, everybody. All right, so we got Denver, Portland tomorrow. What's Jokic's status? Do you have an update for that, Mr. Injury Man?
Yeah, Jokic is listed as questionable. He didn't play yesterday. So yeah, questionable for tomorrow. Not sure.
If he doesn't play, I think it's a 20-point win for the Blazers.
Bones Highland is also out. Michael Porter Jr. is out and possibly out for the year. And then I think they had one other person listed on their injury report.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an easy win if Jokic is missing, in my opinion.
Jamal Murray, Zeke Naji also already listed out.
So it just depends on if Jokic is playing. I'm going to post the rest of Connor's picks in the Discord, or we can go through them. Do you just want to go through them right now? Or
Sure.
All right. Let's just do this before we preview this game more. So here he has the Bulls for Jackson. Here he has the Magic. Here he has the Timberwolves. Here he went with the Spurs. So that's a clean split. Here he ended up going with the Grizzlies. And then for the last game, he ended up going with the Sacramento Kings. So Jackson has the ability to override those last 6 picks if he wants to message back. If not, that's what they will be since we have to lock them in, kind of around game time. So, all right, there we go. There's picks against the spread. Fully done with that. Back to Denver. It's a situation where if Jokic plays, I'm interested to see how they guard him. You don't necessarily want to guard him one-on-one. He doesn't have a ton of talent around him, but he makes players better. So without Jokic, the Nuggets suck. They just got absolutely eviscerated by the Suns. They lost by 29 to the Suns. And it was funny because I hopped on Valley Podcast and Gabe said, yeah, when was the last time you guys beat a team by 29? I was like, you guys, earlier this year. But Gabe's actually going to the Suns game, by the way, tonight. So if you spot him in the crowd, congratulations. I don't know. You don't win anything, but yeah, I don't know. Nobody's going to be watching that game, though. Go ahead.
Hyperprime's asking why Jokic is possibly out. He has a sprained wrist, I believe.
Yeah. So he's getting too saucy with the little flick passes. He sprained his wrist. But I don't know, Eric. I feel like we've had a lot of games where a really good player is missing for the other team, and it makes it impossible to really preview it.
Yeah. Well, once again, play the way you've been playing at home, and I'm not really scared by any teams at home right now, as long as we play the way we need to play. So I'm pretty confident, whether Jokic plays or not, that this team will at least show up, unlike last time we played Denver. And then, yeah. But yeah, obviously if he doesn't play, we should be able to blow them out because they don't really have any dynamic playmakers that could really kill us or should kill us if he's out.
Yeah,
got to contain Aaron Gordon.
He can contain Aaron Gordon. Oh my goodness. Maybe Aaron Gordon will contain himself by getting ejected again because he got ejected last night against the Suns. It would just be nice to get some rest because if you look at our next 5 games, I mean, we have a game the following night against the Kings on the road. Mm-hmm. So if you can keep Dame and CJ under 30 minutes, that would be beneficial for that potential road trip against Sacramento. Also, if Jokic doesn't play and we find that out early, I wouldn't be surprised if the Blazers rest Dame due to his abdomen injury and the Blazers having a game the next night. The Blazers should still absolutely win that game if Dame is out. I think they should win this game regardless. Like, if Dame plays, I think they should win this game regardless if Jokic plays. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Dame be questionable going into this game. Is there an update that overrides that? Is there an update that I missed or no?
I have not seen anyone on the Blazers injury report, which leads me to believe that they won't send him out. And I know that the one game Dame missed this year was at Denver, and I know he tried to fight that decision to not let him play. So Casey Holdall usually has the injuries the day before for the Blazers. He does not have anyone listed for the Blazers currently. So.
Yeah. So
not that can't change, but
yeah, like if Jokic doesn't play and both those guys are playing, the goal should be to keep those guys under 30 minutes. To blow this team out so much that you beat them by 20, 30, and you can rest guys and play bench guys more. Because without Jokic, who's their best player? Aaron Gordon's their best player. They got, what? Monte Morris, Facundo Campazzo, Austin Rivers is kind of their 3 guards right now. And then they got
the Jamichaels.
Where they got PJ Dozier as another guard who's been playing. I'm going from like point guard to center. Like forward spots, they got Will Barton, and he's actually having a really good year. So that's the guy that could maybe keep them in a game offensively without Jokic because he can create a little bit for others and he can score the ball. And he's shooting like 40% from 3, 48% from the field. Mm-hmm. So that's the guy to look out for. I feel like Will Barton hasn't played against us in a while. Like he's always out. He's kind of injury prone. So that's the guy to watch out for offensively without Jokic. Obviously, they don't have MPJ or Jamal Murray. Might not have Jokic. So, but then front court wise, it's Aaron Gordon, the Greens, as you said, Jamichael and Jeff. You got Bull, and who am I missing?
Well, Najee is the other guy, but he's out.
He's out.
Yeah, so they're pretty thin right now.
That's a thin front court. That's a front court that we should have our way with, to be honest with you. That's a front court like Nurkic should have a good game. Mm-hmm. If Jokic isn't playing. And Nurkic has had good games earlier in his career against Jokic anyways, so I do expect to see us try and get Nurkic going, especially early. We did that last game, so I expect that trend to continue. That's just kind of my disorganized thoughts on it.
Yeah, I continue to believe that the opponent shouldn't matter as long as we do the right things, obviously, unless we're playing a really, really good team. But teams like Denver who are missing guys, this should be a case where if we play with ball movement, hit our open threes, move without the ball, and don't have a lot of defensive breakdowns, I feel like we should be able to beat most teams at home, and it's kind of playing out that way. Now it's just a case of after this game, the 3-game road trip, we need more than just that. We need to bring somehow some energy and some aggression, and hopefully that comes. But I feel like this particular game, the only thing I worry about is if Jokic doesn't play, them getting complacent once again, which we've seen multiple times over the last 3 seasons now, where it's a situation where the Blazers think they have automatically won 4 games or won all 4 games of the homestand, and then they come out flat because they were really focused at the beginning of the game. But I'm less worried about that at home, so I'm pretty confident that the Blazers should be able to get this done.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's talk about a couple NBA stories before we wrap up this stream, because this should be fun to talk about. Isaiah Stewart versus LeBron James. Who would win in a boxing match, Eric? Who would win in a fight? Maybe a street fight, maybe an MMA fight. Like, who would you take there?
Stewart looks crazy, so I'd probably
he's a big guy.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, what we're referencing, LeBron James got suspended for a game due to just an utter cheap shot on a free throw line box out in which he basically punched Isaiah Stewart in the face. Isaiah Stewart was boxing him out. LeBron just turned to him and just punched him in the face. There was blood just all over Stewart's face from it, and he basically tried to chase LeBron James down multiple times, was being held back by assistant coaches and teammates and trying to like shed them off like he was shedding tackles in a game of football. If you haven't seen it, my words can't do it justice. After the stream, go look up on YouTube Isaiah Stewart, LeBron James fight. And it was something else. It was, I don't know, like there's, that fight was just different. You know, it started off kind of normal, but then just seeing Isaiah Stewart trying to chase down, just the way he was trying to chase him down was something else. And then the fact that it was also LeBron James was, I don't know, it was an entertaining scuffle. I feel like a lot of NBA scuffles, I'm sitting there like, oh, that's nothing. But that was something. That was
Westbrook standing behind multiple people, like, with his fists up like that, like, acting like he's going to do something. Yeah. It was kind of funny after the game. They told Westbrook that he got a technical, and he's like, what? I did? He didn't even know he got a technical. I don't know why.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Westbrook ain't doing anything, man. Not against Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart, if you don't know who Isaiah Stewart is, the dude is like one of the biggest dudes in the league in terms of just mass. So I don't know if you'd want to bet. Apparently, he boxed when he was younger, too. Isaiah Stewart did. So I don't know if you would want to mess with him, even if you're LeBron James. But definitely if you're Russell Westbrook. So I would take Isaiah Stewart in that fight. Isaiah Stewart got suspended 2 games. LeBron James got suspended 1.
I think they play each other again on Sunday, and the suspensions were low enough to where they'll both be or should be back for that game.
Yeah, the NBA wants them to be back for that game. I bet you they like the drama. They like the attention. I mean, I wonder how that's going to go. People are actually going to be tuning in for Lakers versus Pistons. Just because, I mean, that's a good game regardless. You know, you got like LeBron back and you got the first overall pick, Cade Cunningham. But just for that storyline, does Isaiah Stewart take a cheap shot at him? Like, well, I don't know. Because he was so, like, I don't know if I've seen a player that mad in a while.
Yeah. But usually after a day or so, it's back to normal. So I don't expect anything to happen. That's what usually happens is there's some hype like, oh, what's gonna happen, and then nothing happens ever. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Same with Jokic. Next time they play Miami, I don't expect anything to happen.
Yeah, you got some good scuffles 1 month into the season though. So those are always fun. Cheap shots are bad, but scuffles are always fun.
Zach continues to hate on the Lakers. It's a good game because both teams are relatively the same in terms of skill level.
I mean, the Lakers are looking like an 8 seed, Zach. So I mean, I can't argue with you right now. They were losing. They were losing to the Pistons with LeBron when that happened. They were down about 12, I think. They ended up coming back and winning by 5, but the Lakers are not playing well. And then the other storyline, Eric, the Kings fired Luke Walton yesterday. Terry Stotts has been a name kind of thrown around there, like not seriously speculated, but he's been a name thrown around there as a potential replacement for Luke Walton. What are your thoughts on the Walton firing, and what are your thoughts on the potential of Terry Stotts to Sacramento?
The Kings are incompetent, in my opinion.
Wait, isn't that the opposite of an incompetent move because he sucked?
No, and this is why. You just wasted a whole offseason and a whole training camp of getting the right coach in there who would have done this. So there is no excuse for them not firing Luke Walton in the offseason. If there was even a sliver of a chance, you have to go over scenarios when you're deciding whether you're going to fire a coach. So if you think about it and they lose like 7 out of 8 like they did in the first 20 games, and you would consider firing him after then just fire him. Like there's no reason to keep him in that scenario. So I think they once again could have gotten past Walton. He hadn't been good for them anyway, so I don't know why they keep him. And a few years prior to that, I know it was a different front office, but Dave Yeager has a pretty good season, all things considered, for the Kings, and they fire him. So it's just kind of funny that they kept Luke despite him not doing well there. And so I just think that's incompetence to fire your coach that early instead of just moving on with him earlier.
Yeah, I will say this. It could have been a situation where something happened.
Well, yeah, that's
in the locker room. Like, that's kind of my only guess, and maybe it didn't get out.
But people were talking about how they were surprised he didn't get fired last offseason. So, yeah, I mean, it's not like Luke Walton's been a good coach anywhere else and might have turned it around to like what he did with the Lakers or whatever, because he didn't do that. The only success he had was the year that Steve Kerr couldn't coach on the Warriors, and Walton did a great job that year, but that's not quite the same as coaching a lottery level team. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I don't think Terry Stotts is the worst idea for them. I mean, I wouldn't hire. Obviously, we don't like him as a coach, so we wouldn't hire him.
You're a Stotts fan now, confirmed.
So I believe that Stotts needed to get separated from Dame and CJ. But the guy knows basketball. It's not like he's completely gone off the rails. So if he kind of regroups himself and dedicates himself to kind of his offensive philosophies that he came into Portland with versus relying so much on one person, which I think the Kings would be kind of a good situation for him because they don't really have the dynamic Dame or CJ type scorer. I know I'm not saying Fox can't score, but he's a different player than those two, where you have to either run in transition with him or kind of have a design structured offense around it. So I think he would probably be a good coach for them. And then they'd probably sneak into the playoffs. And I saw some people talking earlier today, like, man, can you imagine if we lost to a Stotts Kings coach team in the playoffs or something? And I was like, I guarantee you there's 0% chance of happening because Dame would go off in that series.
Yeah.
So.
And the thing is if Stotts finally woke up and was like, you know what? I'm actually going to trap. Mm-hmm. We now have a coach that knows how to deal with that. Yeah. That would just be insane just to see.
Yeah. Be fun. But the odds, so currently, according to BetOnline, Kenny Atkinson is a slight favorite over Terry Stotts to be the next coach. And Becky Hammon is third, and Alvin Gentry fourth.
So they really think they're going to go outside of the organization.
Well, yeah, I mean, Alvin Gentry is a solid coach. He's not good. He's not like terrible either. But I think it's just going to depend on how he does. If the Kings come up and maybe make the playoff game or the play-in game, sneak into that 9-10 range, I think they consider keeping him. If they don't make the plan, I think they'd probably just move on and go elsewhere.
Alvaro says, imagine the Kings hire Stotts and trade for Ben Simmons. Stotts would make him spot up as a three-point shooter. That would be funny. What's up, Danny? Apparently we're Mr. Vancouver and you're Mr. Hillsborough. But that'd be hilarious to get Ben Simmons and then bring in Stotts, and Ben Simmons is just shooting corner threes at like 10%.
Yeah. Very nice. Just like Derek Jones, right?
Yeah, they need to get Derek Jones too, and he'll shoot threes, and Rashawn Holmes will start shooting a bunch of threes. He'll turn into Myers Leonard, and the Kings will... Yeah.
Could you imagine if, like, Stotts is hired now, and they had a, really bad defense, and then they got Ben Simmons, and the defense didn't improve at all, and then after a game, Stotts is like, well, we were 30th without Ben Simmons, and we're 30th with him, so I don't think it really matters.
Dude, I would love to beat the Kings and then listen to we would listen to Stotts'
the opposite one,
conference. Yeah. Just for old time's sake. I hope he gets hired now, actually.
We'd have to put him on just when, like, not even when they're playing the Blazers, just to hear him.
See, a bunch of people will act like, see, the Kings are a smart organization. See, the Blazers are trash. Like, I don't know, man. I would love to play a Terry Stotts team and just have him run drop scheme on Dame constantly. Dame would probably love that too, and then realize, man, this guy really was not it, because I can score at will against his team. I mean, the Kings suck defensively anyway, so maybe that is the move.
Yeah,
they couldn't get worse, right?
Maybe. Just want to say what's up to Dwayne Colvin too. He said, "Hey guys, great to see you live. I usually only see it the next morning, so thanks for tuning in to the live show."
Dwayne's been around for a while, man. Yeah. Dwayne's an OG, absolute OG.
Honestly, though, I don't understand teams like that keep circling between coaches that have already had a chance. It's like, and that's why you missed a bunch of chances. There were so many, like a Wes Unseld Jr. in Washington right now, who's doing a pretty good job. Jamal Mosley, our guy Chauncey. There's a lot of first-time coaches that got hired this offseason, and if you pick the right one that can kind of grow with your team, I think they could have gotten a huge jump start on things towards building something there. But as AZ Nightmare points out, they need to do something with Marvin Bagley, that whole situation. I mean, if you're not really going to play him, like, just trade him, man. Like, I don't know what they're doing. They've ruined his value. I mean, not that he hasn't ruined some of that himself, but the way they're handling it, just everything they do just seems to be just so negative. And I was hoping when they drafted Halliburton and then Davion Mitchell this year that they could maybe figure something out, but they just have too many guards too, so those guys don't really get to take over and be the guys there like they maybe should. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do.
Nick Arnold says, I had hoped we'd end the Stotts slander when he left, but alas, y'all are a broken record. Nick, quit crying about us not liking Stotts, man. We're talking about something that's relevant right now, which is the potential Stotts to the Kings, and I'm not going to sit here and say, well, we said bad things about him before, so now I'm just going to lie.
Hold up. How am I a broken record? I just said that would probably be a good hire for the Kings. Like, he'd probably do a good job there.
Bad. Yeah, I mean,
I literally said that. How is that a broken record? I said the opposite of what I normally say.
Bro,
like, come on, man.
There's people here, Eric, that just
don't even listen. Yeah,
think we should never say his name ever again. Like, we should never utter the word Stotts. Like, it should be removed from our vocabulary forever. Like, I don't think he'd be a good choice for the Kings. Eric does. I mean, whatever. Like, we're talking about coaching candidates, you know. He's the former Blazers coach. Like, why wouldn't we talk about him? I don't get it. Like, some people are get too upset by others that don't like Stotts or criticize him. I don't know. I don't understand why it's like has to be a big deal. Like, I don't think he's a good coach. Like, cool. You know what I mean?
And it's not like all the pro Stotts people who are telling us now to stop talking about him wouldn't be like, oh, see, look how good Stotts is doing in Sacramento if they do well, you know. So,
and if Olshey got fired and then another organization was looking at hiring him, they would be slandering that possibility and they would be talking about it. So, like, just chill, just relax. I don't get it, man. We're gonna talk about what's relevant, and if Stotts or Olshey, you know, if Olshey gets fired and he's up for a potential GM job, we're gonna talk about it. Of course, we're gonna talk about it.
We're talking about it with the context of him possibly getting hired by another team, though. It's not. Yeah, it's not like we just randomly brought up Stotts without any context or anything.
It's like people think we shouldn't compare what this team is doing this year to what the team is doing last year with the Blazers. You know what I mean? Like, of course I'm going to compare what looks different this year compared to last year. I of course we're going to talk about the differences and the potential improvements and whatnot. And to talk about, oh, this team got better at this under Chauncey, yeah, that, like, puts down what Stotts did. Mm-hmm. But, like, of course we're going to talk about improvement and reference this year to last year. And people get upset by that, say, well, you guys got slandered Stotts. I thought we moved on. And it's just, like, it's part of the conversation because he was the head coach of our organization for 9 years until last June, until 5 months ago. So he's still a relevant talking point.
And we have our jokes for sure, but I don't think we've done that much slandering of Stotts. Like, he often doesn't even come up in a lot of our shows. I don't know.
Yeah, so there's just people that hate whenever we talk about him, and that's fine, I guess, because we don't talk about him a whole lot. I don't know, like, it's not even a conversation where we're talking about Stotts for this team anymore, so I'm not frustrated with him. It's completely different. I mean, if he gets hired by the Kings, we're going to talk about it for sure. What's up, Jordan? What's up? Dwayne says, thanks, guys. Glad you remember me. Love you guys. You have by far the best commentary on the Blazers. Appreciate you, man. I think I'm good at remembering names and remembering people, especially the people that were around, like, since the True Blazer fan days when I used to do content over there. Way back in the day. I don't know if you were around then. I know you were around, like, right at the start, though, of this channel, or of the main Blazer Uprise channel.
Carl Hafner, thanks for the nice comments, and he says, "Go Beavs and go Zags too." That's good way to like someone. Yeah,
yeah, good way to win us over. Good way to win us over.
And then the final news is Damian Lillard named Western Conference Player of the Week this week after the Blazers went undefeated with a 3-0 record, and Dame averaged a little over 28 points and 8 assists for the week. Beat out Steph Curry, who missed a game and had a 12-point game last night. So even though his points per game were a little higher, it was pretty close probably. But actually, I saw Curry wasn't even nominated for it. It was like DeAndre Ayton and someone else. But yeah, so yeah, Curry stands were all over it, and I called that the minute I saw that tweet. But yeah.
But like Dame stands are all over everything Curry, and Curry stands are the same way, and then we complain about it. Like, just if Dame stands weren't like that, Curry stands probably wouldn't be like that. I don't know. It literally goes like hand in hand, in my opinion.
Actually, so I thought I was going to get into it with a Curry stand today, because he said both Curry and Jokic deserved it over him. And I was like, dude, it's a 1-week award. Jokic barely played last week, and Curry missed a game, and he was like, fair enough, or something. I was like, if it was a whole season award, yeah, sure, Dame would not be in the conversation for Player of the Month or Player of the Year so far, MVP or whatever. But yes, right now, this week, Dame had a good week, and the team is undefeated, and that's usually one of the criterias. If your team does well in a week, it's usually goes to like one of the best players on an undefeated team that week.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't even see the hate from people. Like, I don't know. If I start reading the replies and I see Curry stands saying dumb stuff, I just stop reading the replies and just move on. Like, I don't know. I've gotten pretty good at like filtering out stuff on Twitter and like not following stuff that will make me see, stuff I don't like. I don't know. For the most part, I'm able to be on Twitter and kind of avoid that stuff, which makes me happier. It makes me more relaxed when I get on Twitter instead of seeing all the dumb stuff that Westbrook stands say and whatnot. So, but because you got Curry, PG, and Westbrook stands. DJ Vega points that out. All three of those player fan bases hate on Dame.
Sure.
They're still not as bad as Melo stands though. Anyway, anything else, Eric?
No, thank you everyone for tuning in. Good luck in points against the spread, everyone. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow night after, hopefully, the Blazers with another home victory over the Denver Nuggets.
Yep, we will have that post-game show tomorrow. Also, quick little thing. My cousin's trying to sell tickets for that game for $100 for 2 tickets, so $50 a piece for 107 level row F. Right? So that's like 15th, 20th row, like really good ticket price. For that game, it's $100 for the 2 tickets or best offer. So if you're interested in buying those, let me know and I can hook you up. That's below face value. So he last minute cannot go to that game. So if you want to go to the game tomorrow and sit close and get a good deal on tickets, DM me on Twitter at ToryJonesYT. I'll put it in the chat. Or email blazersuprise@gmail.com or something like that. Just try and get in touch with me if you want those tickets so I can help him sell them and help one of you get a good deal. Yeah. Appreciate you, Jordan Hutchison, man. Jordan Hutchison said he's watching while teaching. Apparently he teaches cooking and runs the basketball academy at his school, which is super dope. Yeah.
I saw he made a very expensive purchase on NBA Top Shot today too. I was like,
did he? What did he get? We gonna out his Top Shot purchases?
No, he posted on Twitter. It's not like it's private or anything.
Okay.
But it was one. I think it was Dame against the Warriors doing some fancy dribbling and then hitting a step back 3 or something. But yeah.
Nice. I personally never got into Top Shot.
I didn't either.
Cool
but
concept.
I know he was stoked about it earlier.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So, yeah, because he's Jordan. You're Australian, right? Isn't he?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope so. Yeah, dude, because it's Clutchinson on the Discord. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm pretty good at remembering names, and I'm starting to like remember nationalities and whatnot. So, I try my best. Trevin said earlier. He said, what did he say? He said something like Tory remembering people that I never did because Trevin's been around for a while. So, yeah, I try my best. But appreciate you, Jordan. I appreciate everybody that's positive and supportive of us, Solar Money Heat, and all you guys.
It helps when people have like a unique name or something and have commented before, because then you remember them. But like Dame fan or something.
Yeah, like Rip City and then some numbers. Like I can't remember which one is Brady, and I talked to Brady pretty consistently on Discord on voice chat, so I forget which one is him. But he changed it. See, yeah. So come up with a unique name. Say what's up in chat. I know a lot of people watching don't say what's up in chat, so definitely reach out. Like, good to see Portland made another regular. Yeah. As far as Neil Olshey stuff, we're not going to talk about it until like something comes out. News-wise, there's nothing to say right now. We've given our opinions on whether we think he gets fired or not. I think it's pretty up in the air right now. I have no idea. So we'll wait and see on if something develops there until we talk about that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, anything else, Eric?
No, thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Yep, have a good rest of your Monday. We will catch you tomorrow with the post-game show. Hopefully that is a post-game show that we're talking about our 9th straight win at home. It would be nice to move to 10-8 before this 3-game road trip coming up next. And once again, there are the next 5 games in case anybody is curious. So we got a stream tomorrow night and the next night, post-game streams for both those games. And we'll see how the Blazers do.
There won't be a Thursday show this week because of Thanksgiving, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, just let
I didn't even think about that.
Otherwise, we'll be streaming like every day. But
yeah. So Thanksgiving is Thursday. You are absolutely right. Do you wait? Let me.
I would say no on Wednesday. 1, I have to work. 2, we are streaming both nights, the next 2 nights.
Yeah.
So I think we just skip it.
Do you want to do picks against the spread on Friday? We could do a Blazers Uprise live stream, or we could do picks against the spread without streaming it.
I don't know. We can talk about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that day, so yeah, we'll figure that out on like Wednesday or Thursday. So just stay tuned. Follow our channel's Twitter at Blazers Uprise YT for news about if we have like a Blazers Uprise live stream on maybe Friday, or if we're just doing picks against the spread, we could do Twitter polls or something and say who picked which games. That could be a way we could do it without streaming it. So just stay tuned. We'll let you guys know. Everything sound good?
Yep.
Alrighty, we'll catch you guys tomorrow after Nuggets versus Blazers. Until then, have a good rest of your Monday. As always, peace out. Go Blazers.